Hi there, it's Pat the Bread here with a review of the Onwind plastic ski that I've been fortunate enough to paddle for about just over a week now. The guys at Into Kayaks gave me the opportunity to demo the ski after I wrote an article with regards to what plastic skis are out there for novices. I published that in the Avon Descent buy sell swap page. In that article, I mentioned a lot about the second-hand skis are available. In Western Australia here, we've been fortunate to have companies like Spirit and Finn manufacturing plastic skis and kayaks for a long time. Unfortunately, they've both stopped producing those boats now, but there's still probably thousands of them out in the market. So if you're fortunate enough to get a good second-hand one, there's some great buys to have. Nowadays, the amount of boats available new is reduced, but what I can say is all the ones that I have paddled in the last probably year or so are much more comfortable, much more stable, much more user-friendly. So for novice paddlers, they've got a much easier entry into paddling whitewater. The Leica, of course, is an imported boat, as are all the boats now. They all come from, I'm assuming they all come from China, and they're all made from a polyethylene plastic. So what I'm going to do is run you through the features of this boat and probably point out some of the features that you need to be mindful of if you're buying a boat to do the Avon Descent in. So we'll start off by looking at the bow. Now, the bow is really important in a whitewater boat. You want it to have a lot of meat in the plastic. So if you do hit a rock, you're not going to split the nose. And for that reason, you'll see in a lot of boats nose cones to protect it. What I can say, even after a couple of really big bumps on the nose yesterday out in the whitewater, it's held its shape really well. And there's a lot of material in it. So this boat could probably get away with not having to have a nose cone. It's pretty sturdy and solid. The other thing that you'll find on these plastic skis is handholds. Now they're actually a safety, as well as making it easier to carry the boat, they're actually a safety feature for whitewater, so that if you do come out and you're going down a rapid, you can grab the handle while you're in the water, and you can actually help direct the boat down the rapid. Now, this boat has a feature that not a lot of boats have, which is storage in the front of the boat. These rubber hatches that you see on the boat are very thick rubber. They've got a really good seal on them. Now, the boat, when they clip over, they seal on really well. So the guys at Into Kayaks tell me they haven't had any issue with these popping off, which is what people have said that has been an issue with, of course, the boat going over rocks or whatever. They say they haven't, but they've thrown this bungee on there just as a backup on this demo boat. I think that's a feature you'd probably have to ask them for if you're buying one of these. But if you're doing day tripping or you wanted to take this boat touring, there's a lot more space in the front of the boat to store things. Coming back to the cockpit, now not a lot of people realise, but the length of the cockpit is actually quite handy to have. I'm 6'2", so I have quite a long leg length, but as you can see, there's still a lot of room in the front of the cockpit. Now, what you can use that for in the Avon, if you have a 2-litre bottle, a juice bottle, you can actually put the bottle in the front here. And run a food grade tube back to drink out of, so that the weight of the water is in the bottom, low down in the kayak, so it doesn't decrease the stability of the boat because you've got it down low. It's also just takes up space so that water doesn't get in there. If you're not using that, what I suggest you do is get some foam blocks or foam bricks to fill that up, so that when you go through rapids and you get water in the boat, there's less water that has to drain out through the venturi. The footplate in this boat is really simple to adjust. So if you're in a team and you want to change boats or change paddlers very quickly, it's as simple as pulling on this string and you can move the foot plate backwards and forwards. And then the two pins here and here click into place. You don't even have to adjust the rudder lines because they move through the pedals and through this system here, which auto adjusts. You have a spindle here which you can adjust, and what that does is it just allows you to move the pedals forward and back, and also if you've got one side, if the rudder's not quite aligned, you can adjust one side to line that up again. But yeah, I've really enjoyed paddling with these foot plates. The pedals are very responsive. In this ski, they've got stainless steel lines down to the rudder, so get quite sturdy. The foot strap is very simple to use. It's Velcro, so you can adjust the foot strap to your size. So whether you're wearing booties or just bare feet, you can adjust that to your size, and it's a nice padded inside of that foot strap. So if you've got bare feet, it's going to be nice and comfy on the feet. Otherwise, you can get a nice snug fit. Now, looking at the scupper is one of the types that is able to be put down and brought up with the heel of your foot. I've been playing with it while I've been racing and training. I find it easy to bring up. I don't find it that easy to put down. So it's something that you would probably have to play with to get right to put down with your heel, but I've got very big feet, so it might just be my feet. I just want to show you the bottom of it, because one of the features of this particular boat is that they have really done a great job of putting the scuppers in. The guys at Inter Kayaks are ex-Spirit surf ski manufacturers, so they know that the weakest point on any plastic boat, if it's got a scupper, is the scupper. This is where you're going to have problems with leaking if it's not done well. As you can see from all the bolts in it, it is really, really well secured in the boat, and you can't see it on the video, but it's actually recessed. So you can see I've had a few scrapes this weekend over the rocks, and there's no damage to the scupper itself. The plate has got a few scrapes on it, but the actual scupper is really well protected and very secure. So that should give you some peace of mind if you get buying this to take over white water in rocks. The other thing this boat has is it's an attachment for a leg leash. So if you're taking it out and surf and you want to attach a leash so that if you come out of the boat in, say, downwind conditions or out of the ocean, the boat's tethered to you. This section here is for a water bottle. If you wanted to have a water bottle in there, that bungee holds it in there. The bucket is extremely comfortable. It's actually probably one of the most comfortable buckets I've sat in, and that includes ocean skis as well. It's there's no chafing. You've got this cutaway at the back here. I don't know if you can see the profile. If I turn the boat, you can see that what it does is it takes the profile of the seat away from your lower back, so that your backside's here and those bony back bits in your sacrum are sitting up here, so they're not getting rubbed away. So I found it very, very comfortable in all the kilometres I've done in it. The handles, of course, great for lifting the boat and also handling the boat on and off the water. Not quite sure what these are for. Maybe for if you wanted to put a seat in there, that might be, the clips might be here what that's for, I think. You've got bungees at the back if you wanted to store anything under the bungees, like a jacket or spare paddle. But if you've got a spare paddle, you might as well use this really big storage space in the back. Now, once again, really thick rubber top. Got an excellent seal. In actual fact, when I got back from paddling or finished my paddle yesterday, I had trouble getting this off because my hands were numb, and this is so well sealed I couldn't get my fingers in underneath to pull it off, so it seals really well. But once again, the guys have added a bungee so that you can throw that bungee cord over the top if you're concerned about that in any way. Now, while you can get a paddle in some of the boats around, this makes it really simple to get a paddle in. So this was the paddle I took yesterday. Slides in there, really, really simple. And this is a full-size ocean paddle, so you won't have any problems getting all sorts of spare gear in there. Another feature of this boat is it's got a bulkhead. See the bulkhead in there? Now that's not just cheap foam, it's the really good foam that doesn't absorb water, and it's sealed all the way around. So yeah, it's another great feature of the boat. The boat also comes with the ability to be to swap over to an ocean rudder. So this is the top, and you'll see if I look inside, and if you can see, there's a rudder tube in there. So you can get a surf ski rudder, and if you turn the boat inside, you'll see a hole there. That's where the surf ski rudder comes out the bottom, so you can take it out in the surf. You've got a carry handle at the end of the boat, again for ease of use of the water. Now another thing that the Interkayaks guys are aware of is that another weak spot on most or any boat in the Avon is your rudder. Now what can happen, or what has been happening with a lot of the imported boats, is they have basically one point at which the rudder attaches, and in some models the rudder goes on at 90 degrees and then it's locked in once it's turned this way. But of course, as we know, if you come out of your boat and your rudder happens to turn 90 degrees and it's upside down, the rudder can pop off. So what they've done is they've attached a different rudder assembly, and as you can see, it's really well attached. So you shouldn't have any problems at all with the rudder in white water. I was surprised in this boat, the plastic rudders can tend to flex, and for that reason you'll see a lot of boats with aluminium rudders. This boat steers really well, and I'm not sure what makes it different from other boats, whether it's the shape of the hull, yeah, or the fact that it's got a bit more weight in it, but I found this worked really well. You could, if you wanted to, change it over to aluminium, but I'd suggest you'll find this is plenty for what you'll want to do with it. So there you go, it's the Leica Onwind. Probably the only thing that you need to be mindful of is that it is heavy, but the boys at Interkayaks told me the reason they asked for these to be made at the weight they were is that they will last. So if you buy one of these, it'll still be around in 20 years time being paddled. Whereas a lot of the skis that are around now that have been made much lighter stand a much greater chance of putting a hole in them or folding. I'd suggest you'll have a lot of problems folding this boat. It's very, very well built, and yeah, if you're very keen on one, just make sure you got some help to get it on and off the roof rack, because as I said, they're heavy. I think the heaviness actually helps it through the rapids. I found it through the rapids, it's very settled, it steers well. It's actually quite a laugh because it's so stable. It's yeah, you can just enjoy the ride rather than having to worry about whether you're going to get wet or cold. So there you go, the Interkayaks Leica Onwind. It's I think around $1,200 new, so a bit of a bargain there. So thanks again to the guys at Interkayaks for giving me the opportunity to paddle this over the last week or so, and I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that they let me might paddle it some more. Thanks for watching. Bye.